So I'm in college and I was just doing this comedy show. I mean, my senior year, I'm kind of like big fish in a small pond, real confident. Andy Samberg's coming to our school
Wait,
to do to show his videos with his funny group.
Lonely Island.
Lonely Island,
Yeah, Lonely Island. And so I know he's coming, and I have this film of this character show I had just done. So I was like, I'm gonna make a DVD. I'm gonna get it to him. I'm gonna get on SNL.
Huge.
There you go.
So I'm in the crowd, and I put this whole package together, and basically in the middle of his talk back, I ran up to the stage and threw a package at him, and I was like, Andy, I love you.
And this was post 9/11?
Yeah, this was post 9/11. And so anyway, there was a lot of banter, but I was like immediately embarrassed because he thought it was like fan mail, and it was really me asking a favor. But he kind of covered my ass, and then
he made a joke of it.
Well, he made a joke of it where he was like, I had this, he opened this letter for me and it said like, can I like follow you around at SNL? And he just was like, is that even legal?
Oh,
like, as you know, as if I had said that. And then toward the end, they're like taking one more question. I raise my hand. Everyone's like, take Kat's question, take Kat's question. And there's like thousands of people in this auditorium. And so I raised my hand and I was like, Andy, is it lonely being famous?
Oh,
and he goes, will you marry me, Kat? As a joke, but he did ask me to marry him.
So legally,
that's legal.
It's binding.
Yeah,
it's
that's
binding.
legally binding.
It's legally binding. And so, but then I couldn't help myself. I was like, notice how he avoided answering the question, is it lonely being famous? And he was like, okay, it's lonely, Kat, whatever, right? So we had this funny
Wow, Kat, you really changed since high school. That
Jesse
all of those years of being
out.
shy just completely 180 for...
I know, I really opened up for this. So then after, wait, am I rushing? Am I rushing?
No,
this is great.
Don't
We
rush
love
at all.
that. We're on the
Yeah.
tips of our toes or whatever they say.
So the show
Ray of
ends,
lightning.
but we're all still kind of mingling, and this kind of like stage manager on a power trip comes up and he's like, he's got an earpiece, he's like, hey, you want to meet Andy?
Whoa.
And I was like, yeah. And he's like, all right. Go up the aisle, take an elevator to the 4th floor, take a right, take a left.
I love this guy.
The VIP room or whatever. So
The
I get up there.
VIP
Well, there's
room.
like this, I think there was like a Jewish group at Northwestern that had like sponsored Andy Samberg showing up.
Oh,
So it was like
Amazing.
this kind of elitist room, and then there was like delicious food, and then Andy was signing posters. So I wait in this line. And I finally get to him and I was like, okay, if I do a minute of a character for you, can I follow you around at SNL for a day? And he was like, that's not a good deal for me. And he goes, listen, you gave me your DVD, I'll watch it. And so he writes on the poster.
That's huge.
Yeah, he says, Kat, I will literally never forget you, jerk. Cut to, first of all, days pass. Oh, okay, one other thing. Next day in the school newspaper, it says, crazed fan proposed to by Andy Samberg.
Oh, they got their facts wrong.
Crazed fan.
Crazed, nice.
Okay,
Crazed fan.
so the weeks pass, the months pass, no word.
Okay. No word.
He said he was never going to forget you.
Right?
What a jerk.
Wow.
8
I
years
did say
later.
that too.
8 years later?
8
8 years later,
8
I've moved to New York.
years
Didn't work
later.
out. I moved to LA. Years pass. I'm kind of lost. I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm living with these girls who are all hippies, and they're like, have you ever made a vision board?
Wow.
So I put Jolo Trulio from Wet Hot American Summer on the center of the board. Sure enough, within a month, I'm on a scene with him in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Whoa.
See, that's how that stuff.
That's amazing.
What?
Nobody
That's
has
so
ever
you
put
guys.
Joe Latriglio on a vision board.
Exactly.
Joe did. Joe put himself on his own board.
Joe put himself on that board, baby.
Yeah.
And he was in a scene with Kat.
Yeah.
I know. It was actually Joe Lowe's vision board that got it done. But,
Oh my god.
so
I
I
love
have
Joe
this.
Giglio.
My first ever TV gig is one line on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm Raggedy Ann, so I'm in full costume. I don't look like myself. I've got crazy makeup and hair, and I'm walking from the trailer or whatever up to like my
yeah,
little
'cause
room, and of
Andy's
course I
there.
see Andy,
Yeah.
and I make eye contact.
My god.
But he's like deep in a conversation with this woman who looks important, and I look crazy. And so I was like, I could approach him, but it doesn't
He's
feel
like,
like the right
I
time.
recognize you. You look crazy and I recognize you.
That's true. I
Right,
would
throw a
also look
package at
crazy
him.
before.
Crazed fan and crazy. Yeah.
Crazy fan and crazy. So anyway, long story short, I go to my room and I was like, oh, I should have talked to him. I get on set, I never see him again.
Oh,
Oh no.
And that's where we leave off.
no. You could have
okay.
had the full circle.